It shall not stop me to get to the Star Trek Beyond movie.
All right, it's about T-minus 1 hour to Star Trek Beyond. I'm predicting fun, good humor, good characters, and a fun story. And it'll be fantastic. So let's go find out.
Treks in Sci-Fi, Star Trek Beyond, podcast 595 for July 24th, 2016. Check it out.
We change. We have to. We spend the rest of our lives fighting the same battles.
These are the times when leaders are tested. But I believe in you.
So good movie. We're going to talk about it all today on the podcast.
This is more than a rescue mission. This is my family. We are not leaving anyone behind.
Star Trek Beyond. Now playing in theaters Realty 3D and IMAX 3D.
All right. Here we go.
Can you imagine what we'll find?
Aliens hellbent on killing us.
That's the spirit, Bones. We make a good team.
I believe we do.
Hold on to something! Do it!
Star Trek Beyond.
You really want to head back out there?
Yes.
Hello, folks. It's Rico, and welcome to this edition, special videocast edition for Star Trek Beyond, the debut of the big old, whatever you call this, bridge set for the videocasts. And welcome to the show. I hope you guys have had a chance to see Star Trek Beyond. I'm going to talk about that, obviously, today, along with some others that have sent in video clips from that or for that purpose to talk about the movie. It was great. It was fantastic. I need some lemonade already, so cheers here. So anyway, before we get really into it that much, obviously I want to say a big thanks to those on who have contributed to this effort here via Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/TreksInSci-Fi. This has been going on now for several months. As most of you know, I did this lower portion first, and now I've added this upper screen display that you're seeing some photos here from the movie, and it's really coming together. I've got a few little things left to do on it, but it's probably 95% complete. I think it's really worked out well. I'm really happy with it. It took a long time. I'm busy with work and everything, so I don't have a lot of time to do stuff like this, which I love to do. I had to do it on weekends and 4th of July weekend and Memorial Day and every other holiday, but it's really worked out well. And again, thanks to those that have supported the effort. If you'd like to support Treks in Sci-Fi, hosting, things like this, just go over to patreon.com/TreksInSci-Fi. Had to get that out of the way first. So what do you guys think? I like it. It's really cool. Again, before we talk about the movie, let's talk about some of the stuff that's come out of Comic-Con this weekend. It started, I guess, Wednesday with preview night. They had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday even going still. Comic-Con as I record this on July 24th, 2016. There's just a ton of movie trailers. We saw something for Justice League, for Wonder Woman, for the new season of Flash, for that King Arthur movie, for Fantastic Beasts or Creatures or whatever that Harry Potter thing is called. It's just amazing to me, all the stuff that we were seeing. Probably to me, the biggest news, though, was we got a tiny little glimpse and I think I'll play it for you in a moment. If you haven't seen it yet, we got a little glimpse of the new Star Trek series, Star Trek Discovery. All they showed was basically the ship, which is called the Discovery. NCC 1031, I think, is the registry number, coming out of a little like base in sort of an asteroid kind of a thing. The CGI looks to me like it's not quite finished, but there's a lot of stuff going on the internet. This just came out yesterday. This Enterprise actually looks like a Ralph McQuarrie design that was done back in the 70s when they were going to put Star Trek back on television, right before they did Star Trek the Motion Picture. There was a lot of designs for the new look of the Enterprise, and this was one. And it's got this little triangle shape with, with the saucer section coming off, and that's still 2 engines in the back and all. But it looks like a hybrid blend of, a Klingon vessel from like the original series or from the Prime universe, and the Enterprise looks like a real hybrid between the two. Now, Brian Fuller, who's kind of the showrunner of this new Star Trek series, has said this show is going to be set in the Prime universe, not in the alternate Kelvin universe. You have Prime universe, TOS through Enterprise, all those series, animated, everything. Prime universe, Kelvin universe. Parallel universes. This one was disrupted. Their timeline was a little bit disrupted over here. Vulcan got destroyed, obviously, and the 3 movies we've had so far are set in that Kelvin universe, with the same characters that we kind of know from TOS and the movies from the original series. So this show, again, appears to be Prime Universe, using a starship called the Discovery. Probably, to me, I think it's likely that it'll at least, be 1 season with that crew. Will the other shows or the other seasons following this be part of another, will they be different? Will they be set in different timelines? The guess right now, and we were talking about this on the Treks and Sci-Fi Facebook group yesterday, was that this new series could perhaps be set between the era of TOS. Sorry, let me get this right. Yeah, between Enterprise and TOS. So maybe during the Romulan War, perhaps. But I don't know. The design of that ship doesn't look like it fits that. To me, that looks like a design that when the Klingons and the Federation would be more or less allies, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they just decided to copy some Klingon ship designs Starfleet did during that Romulan War, perhaps. There's a lot of things they can do, but I'm pretty excited about that. And so I wanted to mention that here at the start before we get into talking about Star Trek Beyond. So what else? I was super impressed with the Justice League trailer from Comic-Con. Wonder Woman trailer looks good too, but Justice League, though, it looks like they're finally, sliding in a little bit of humor, making it a little bit lighter in tone. They're definitely working on that based on the reaction to the Batman versus Superman movie from a few months ago. I think that's great. You don't see Superman in this trailer at all, which I think is interesting. Although I'm not going to spoil Batman vs. Superman if you haven't seen that, but there's a reason probably that's true from that movie. It's been out 3 or 4 months now, at least, and it just came out in video again, the Ultimate Edition, which I've seen, by the way. I still think the movie misses some beats. I still think Superman is not being handled perfectly in that movie, even with the added stuff that they put in. But I'm okay with it. What else? I guess, and the Wonder Woman trailer looked good. I expected that to be good. I thought she was the best part of Batman versus Superman, so I expect that movie to be a lot of fun. It's set back in time, back in like World War I era. It looks like she meets Steve Trevor. It's sort of more or less a Wonder Woman kind of origin story a bit, it looks like from the trailer. So check that out. All these things are up on YouTube. There wasn't a lot. I was a little disappointed the last couple of weeks. We didn't get much more on the Rogue One Star Wars movie. I wanted to call it Rebel One. Wasn't that a Billy Idol song? Rebel Yell. Anyway, but there wasn't much from the con from last weekend with Star Wars Celebration. Supposedly they showed this short trailer there. We never saw it on television. And now we still haven't seen it online. They didn't show it at Comic-Con. But we'll get that soon. The the other part the other thing that I really thought was cool was the Flash season 3 trailer. There are some things that happened at the end of last season in the Flash show. If you're not caught up with it, this trailer could perhaps spoil some things. But you got to watch these shows quickly these days and as they air a little bit. But okay, so let's see. I think we're going to take a short break here, and I'll come back with a mostly spoiler-free a mostly spoiler-free review of Star Trek Beyond, which I really enjoyed, that I saw on Thursday night on what was that, the 21st? July 21st? Yeah. Saw it on Thursday night at the movies. I've only seen it once so far, but I did enjoy it quite a bit, and I'll be back in a moment and talk about it.
Critics are raving Star Trek Beyond has an incredible score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think we got their attention.
It's the best action movie of the year. See it Friday.
Hold on to something!
Rated PG-13.
Okay, Star Trek Beyond. It opened up, technically July 22nd here in the U.S. There were Thursday night evening shows that I went to theater that I usually like to go to nearby, and so it's out. It looks like it's going to make about $60 million this weekend, which isn't up to what it did, the last two movies did in their openings, but those came out in May, so I kind of blame that a little bit on the late July release, but that's still a pretty healthy, nice opening, more than Ghostbusters made, that's for sure. And it's getting a lot of good word of mouth, and deservedly so, because this is a great movie. It's a great Star Trek movie. It's a fun film, period. And if you're a Star Trek fan, I think you're going to really enjoy it quite a bit. Let's see, where should we start? So the movie starts, and again, this is going to have some slight spoilers in it. So if you are really trying to, if you haven't seen the movie yet, and that will bother you, don't watch this. Watch it after you see the movie. But the movie kind of opens. So here we go, with the Enterprise being out in space for quite a while. I think Kirk says in the near the opening, it's been they're into their third year of their 5-year mission. So they've basically, I think, kind of used the idea that after Into Darkness, they've just been out patrolling and exploring strange new worlds for the last 3 years since the last movie. So the crew and Kirk are a little weary, and then things, of course, start to happen. A couple of things that I want to say, I guess, as an overview of this before I really get into I'm not going to get into a lot of heavy detail. But one is, I think that, the cast for these movies has always been great. I think they've done a fantastic job all along. They picked some great actors who really fit the roles well. And by this third movie, I called or Chris called me, Chris Clemente. We both saw the movie on Thursday night and we were chatting about it. But one of the things that struck me right after I saw this was how well these actors have embraced the roles now, and they really have gotten these characters down well. That the script and the dialogue helps that a lot in this. They're doing their own version kind of TOS. They're not mimicking that, but they're using a lot of things that came from that and how the characters interact a little bit. So that's great. They've really got that down well, and I think the smoothness of all that, and it's kind of like a nice pair of shoes or a comfortable pair of sneakers. It really, really works well in this movie, which has a lot of really good character moments, and I think that this movie they couldn't have done, I don't think even for the second movie. Maybe they could have for the second movie, but they certainly couldn't have done it for the first movie. They weren't quite where they needed to be, but I enjoyed those movies. I don't know, Into Darkness we've talked about quite a few times. I think that the biggest problem there was the whole that's first movie. Was the Khan thing. Kelvin, that's why I messed that up. So so they're into their mission. They visit this very cool Starbase Yorktown, and it's just amazing to me, the visuals of that Starbase and the majesty of it and the size and scope, as the Enterprise docks there. I don't think they've ever done anything quite on that scale in a Star Trek movie or any other movie. You really get a sense that this is a huge, basically a mini world, a mini planet in space that they've built with people, millions of people living there, and starships coming in, and it's really incredible. I was super impressed with that part, and I like that a lot. And you get a lot of character stuff in the early part of this movie, which is fun before you get into a lot of the heavy duty stuff and the action and all that. I want to say Carl Urban still as McCoy is one of the best parts of these movies. He has that down so well. Got the voice, got the attitude. It's just he gets a good amount to do in this movie too, and it really works well. The story, and the script, Simon Pegg did a great job. I think they really came through. They know Star Trek, obviously. There's a lot of nice little nods and homages to the original series and Star Trek in general. And there's a good story going on here too. There are a lot of nice little messages in here about doing the right thing and working through your problems and just working together as a team and family and a lot of Star Trek stuff, but a lot of things I think that are great to see in a movie these days. Star Trek still has all that optimistic, hopeful future idea, but it's a little clouded in this movie due to what's going on, and I don't want to give too much of this away, but they sort of use that and the way the current world is these days with a lot of bad things happening and kind of, Star Trek's message here is it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to sort of give in to that situation and give in to the badness and the evil. So again, I was really impressed with that idea and attitude in this movie quite a bit. Again, the visuals in this movie, they spared really no expense. I think they had a little less budget actually for this movie than for Star Trek Into Darkness. And it doesn't show though. It's really great. I love the new uniforms that they've got. I think they're great. They look very much like TOS still, but with the colors and all that. But they also are very much more clean and elegant and military looking without being overly so than those sort of t-shirt kind of things like I'm wearing today than they were wearing in the last two movies. And Kirk and some of the other people get a lot of things to different outfits to wear during the course of this movie too, which is cool. So what else I guess is an overview of it that I can say? It just works real well. It's got a lot of danger, it's got a lot of action and destruction and things blowing up, but they still bring it back to the characters, bring it back to their trying to solve a problem, and of course in the previews you really obviously can see this in the previews. The Enterprise gets pummeled, gets just messed up bad in this movie. And that's a hard thing to take sometimes. How many times have they messed up the Enterprise in these Star Trek movies? But again, I think it works super well for the story here, and it fits, and it's not just done gratuitously, and it's also done pretty early in the movie, so they have to deal with that. So it's good, and I like the way they handled that quite a bit. It takes the characters and their situation and puts a lot of danger and a lot of busts up the team a little bit, and they have to kind of come together. The main other new character, well, there's the bad guy. I forget, why can't I think of what his name is in the movie? Krell, that's what it is. I want to say Krell. And there's Jayla, who's the white with the black kind of face. Sort of looks like an albino Darth Maul to a degree. That's not really a great comparison, but she's great. Both of them, great actors in those roles. Sofia Boutella or something like that is the woman's name for Jayla, and Idris Elba, I think that's how you say his name, is Krell. So Krell just seems like a weird name. They should have. I just want to say Krell so much, but I love this movie, as you guys can tell. I think it's great. I think it's probably the best of the new three, or the new Kelvin universe movies. I still have a big fondness for the first one, but this one's just as good, I think, or if not, maybe a little better. Certainly has probably, I think, a better bad guy and a more interesting one, and that's really sometimes hard to do in these movies. Bad guys are difficult to make them interesting and not one-dimensional, but I think they do a pretty good job. I actually thought Khan was a fairly good bad guy in the last movie too, except for, you know, reusing the Khan story. So I'm going to take a break and let's start playing some of your comments here, and I'll come back and comment after I watch them. So first one up, and I'll be back in, and I'll comment after the first few of these that I have so far. Some of them I'm going to tag onto the end of the video cast. So here we go with some of your thoughts on Star Trek Beyond.
Well, hi everybody. It has come time to see the new Star Trek movie, the third one in the reboot, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I promised I would go ahead and give a review of it, so we're going to start off by just saying I really don't have any idea what it's about. I've tried to avoid all the spoilers. I have watched some of the trailers, but they don't say a whole lot about the movie, so we'll find out what exactly happens to the crew of the Enterprise. It should be kind of fun, so I'll let you know as soon as I come out what I thought of it. All right, here I am at the theater, almost ready to see Star Trek 3. Well, they don't call it Star Trek 3, but Star Trek Beyond. And here's a gentleman here that's already seen the movie.
Yep.
Tell me what you thought.
I thought it was really good. It was a lot like the old episodes, just more modern, action-packed.
Cool.
It's definitely a lot better than the last one.
So it's a throwback to the original series.
It seems like it, yeah.
Oh,
More so
that's-
than Into Darkness was.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, none other than the Loose Man himself. This is my buddy, my friend Phil, and my boss at the radio station. We're here to see Star Trek. What are your expectations?
You know, my expectations are low, believe it or not. So it's going to be really good.
That's what I'm thinking.
Been seeing really good reviews, really high marks all around. Everybody's saying how much they love it, and so, but I'm setting the bar low, and that way I'm not disappointed.
That's right.
I don't think I will be. I don't think it can be. I think this is actually got higher marks than the last Star Trek.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Nathan. Hello. This is for Treks and Sci-Fi. We're doing a pre-video, and then we're going to do the afterwards one, like we normally do. Are you ready for this?
Just a little bit.
We actually talked to somebody that saw it already, and they said it was fantastic.
That's good.
Well, what'd you guys think?
How are you filming
What'd
this?
you think?
It's
I
actually,
can't
I
see
think
anybody
it might have been my favorite one so far.
This was your favorite one?
Yeah.
What'd you think, Aim?
I like the interaction of the crew.
Yeah?
Yeah. Character development.
The initial reaction to the Star Trek Beyond movie. Pretty awesome. What do you think, Trace?
It was great. It was great.
All right, so we talked to you beforehand. We were kind of anticipating.
I'm glad I set that bar low. It was really high now.
It was good.
That was the best one yet. Best one yet.
I think so.
It's fantastic. I'm getting another ticket right now. I'm gonna go see it again.
There you go. Okay, so what's your favorite part of the whole movie?
Definitely when the music starts and they just start kicking butt. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil it too much.
Spoil it.
But let's just say I didn't expect it, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really good. And of course, you know, just the stuff that they bring back from the originals, all the movies.
Did you like the little comment about my shirt always gets ripped?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Just awesome. We don't want to
Yeah.
do too many spoilers, but we will say.
You know,
go ahead.
I wanted to see his green. The uniforms changed. They went back to the 60s.
More original looking, yeah.
Very original. And that's the first thing I noticed. First thing when, you know, right in the beginning of the movie, that's the thing. And I want my next movie, I hope I see the green, you know, the green shirt that he has.
Without going into spoilers again, I have to say that the very end, when they did a time lapse thing, way cool. I didn't expect it. It's way cool, which sets it up for another movie. I'm just saying.
Well, you know, the next one's coming out. That's got the guy who played as Thor in it, who played as
Kirk's dad.
Kirk's dad in the very first one, about like what, 15
George.
minutes?
Is it George Kirk?
Yes, George Kirk.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
Yeah, thumbs up for me.
Oh, 12 cats and dogs out of
Gosh.
15 cats and dogs.
Okay, good. I would put it up there with, if I was going to do stars, I would put up there 4.5 stars on that one. That's that good. It's something I'll watch again and again. I liked it. All right, Nathan, you want to say anything? You liked it too.
Good.
All right, Amy, you don't want to be on camera, I bet. Okay, all right. Well, it was a great movie, and I hope everybody goes and sees it. Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks, Rick Moyer, for your great video and comments about Star Trek Beyond with your friends and family. That was fantastic. You even did a little video right after the movie in the theater itself with the music playing in the background. So kudos for that. You know, pulling out your little phone in there. They're, you know, I don't know if people, you know, if they have to tell people not to have their phones out in theaters that much these days, or if they're worried people are going to like film the whole movie. But anyway, thanks. You know, the movie was, I think a lot of people, because of the last couple, and Star Trek fans especially, you know, they were kind of like, oh, how good is this going to be? And Simon Pegg wrote it, and I think there was a lot of people that were kind of a little bit worried about that or concerned, but I really wasn't. I thought they were going to do a good job with this. My biggest worry, I think, probably was that it was going to come off a little bit like Star Trek, maybe Insurrection, and be too much like more of a TV episode kind of thing. But I think they hit that nice balance between a good story, a TV kind of centered idea for it, along with the you know, big budget action stuff of a summer movie. So anyway, thanks for your video. Appreciate it very much.
Hi Rico, this is Jeff, Jeff from Canada, Jedi Jeff on the Treks and Sci-Fi forums, and I am sending in some of my comments on the new Star Trek Beyond movie that just got released this weekend. I guess I should just start off and say that I enjoyed this movie, actually. I think out of the 3 Kelvin Universe movies, this one would be my favorite, not just because it's the most recent and of the 3, but I felt that it was the one probably for me which was the most truest to like kind of the Star Trek that I kind of know and kind of love. I just found like it gave me some really good Star Trek feels, like kind of right at the start of the movie, you know, kind of right after you know, Kirk got back from that kind of that failed diplomatic missions, you know, just kind of him talking about the 5-year mission, and maybe how it, you know, like I say, things are starting to get kind of routine and all that, and it just kind of reminded me a bit of the episodic shows that we have watched over the years. You know, just, you know, like, you know, you're going on missions and things like that, and this is your routine and all that, and just, I don't know, I like that they kind of touched on that, because so often, you know, the movies are so big and all that, you know, just the day-to-day stuff kind of gets forgotten. And I understand in a movie you're going to want to keep things pretty exciting anyways. But anyways, I like that they kind of touched on it. And I kind of like how they kind of touched on, you know, some of the different characters as well, too. Even, you know, it was Kirk's birthday, and kind of reminded me a little bit of almost Star Trek 2. And, you know, Kirk was having his birthday, and he was a little pensive and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, not sure where he was going in life and his career, and that little scene between Kirk and McCoy, you know, at the start of this one kind of reminded me a bit of that. And you know, so I really liked that. Like, say, I got like some good feels out of it, and just you got a good sense of like the crew as well too. You know, kind of where they are at with their careers and their lives as well. So I like that they touched on that. A few other thoughts on the movie. You know, even though it's not, you know, like I'm a more Prime Universe guy, and when it comes to ships, like I'm okay with the Enterprise, but I like the styling more from the Prime Universe. It sure hurt when I saw that ship get taken down, and it just kind of get disassembled piece by piece. Like say, just every kind of blow, like say, my mouth dropped when I saw like the nacelles just get kind of, you know, like, you know, sheared off the ship, and it was just, it just hurt. I felt a bit, and just seeing it get taken down piece by piece, and then just, you know, it's kind of its end. It just I always have a tough time when I see them kind of destroy the Enterprises, because again, like say, it feels like a character to me as well too. So it was tough to see. Anyways, but that said, the new Enterprise, the NCC 1701A, That looks like it's going to be a nice ship as well too. I guess for the kind of this Kelvin universe. I do like that it has a little bit. Looks like it has a little bit of the nods to the kind of the the movie style Enterprises that we got. Like I say, I'm looking forward, kind of to the next movie and maybe getting to see a bit more of this ship. And like I say, maybe when the Blu-ray and all that comes out, maybe being able to kind of look at a little more at the details of that. So I'm kind of excited about that. I liked as well too that Franklin ship that they used as well too. I like, that's something that kind of threw back more to the Prime universe as well too. Really liked it. I found that the bridge on the current Enterprise, I found that so bright actually. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe in the next movie that somehow maybe it's toned down a bit and maybe not so busy. I guess it doesn't feel as personal to me, so I don't know. I guess we'll see, but that's something I'm kind of hoping for. A couple other thoughts. I liked the nods actually that they had to the Prime universe with the, when Spock died, and then later they're looking at the photo of the original crew and all that kind of stuff. That I like that kind of. I thought it was a nice nod to the kind of the 50th anniversary of Trek. I like that, and I also really like that they had a couple nods to Enterprise with with the main villain there. Him being like a Mako officer, and kind of him dealing with kind of the fallout from the the whole thing with the Xindi and then the Romulan Wars and all that kind of stuff. I liked that they referenced back to that time frame, and it almost makes me wonder a bit with the information about this new Star Trek Discovery if we might be looking at maybe something in that period of time possibly for the new series. Maybe we'll see. It just seemed like it was kind of an interesting little thing that he mentioned, and it was just like, well, I don't know, was that a throwaway line or was that something a little bit more? But anyways, I'm probably rambling on here, so I'm just going to sign off. Just say enjoyed the movie. Probably go see it a few more times before it leaves the theaters. Like I say, I'm quite happy with the direction that the movies are going, and now, and like I say, thanks for letting us send in our comments, and all the best to you, Rico, and everyone out there. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Jedi Jeff, thanks for your video. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, it was hard to watch what they did to the Enterprise, and but you're right, all the little nods and stuff to Star Trek in general and different series like Enterprise and TOS. I think that was pretty cool too. I agree. It's nice that they haven't ignored things that have happened like in the Prime universe or things that have happened in other series. It's kind of like they're doing with Star Wars a little bit, where they're bringing in little bits from like the EU into Star Wars, or I should say into canon now for Star Wars. But thanks anyway. Great to hear from you, Jeff.
Hello there, Treks in Sci-Fi from Sweden here. Sitting out in the warm sun, basking after the memories of Star Trek Beyond. So finally I managed to get my wife to follow me. We got some babysitters, and we went and had a drink, and I put on my brand new spanking Star Wars t-shirt. I thought it was very fitting. Watch that. So, and she loved it. She's not a geeky woman, but she loved it. I really enjoyed it, I must say. I thought it was a very good movie. Definitely better than Into Darkness, which I saw 2 months ago. And it's at least as good as the first one. And my thought was that, well, when the first one came out, I mean, we were longing for it and it was so good. And now that I've seen it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it still holds up. So I can't really say if it's that good because I haven't seen this one 2, 3, 4 times. I remember seeing Into Darkness the second time now, and I thought it was just okay. Let's see if this one is just okay or if it's as good as the first one. Only time will tell. Some comments. I really like the Star Trek-y banter between Spock and McCoy. I loved it when they were going to beam out and McCoy hated it. I thought that the ending fight was a bit... it was a very cool concept, I have to say. So it was a very cool concept. But the end thing with the hatch and flying out the hatch, that was too much Deus Ex Machina for me. Yeah, that should have been fixed. Though I have to say, the use of the song when they were fighting the big swarm, that was cool. I thought it was an excellent homage to the first movie. And I was just rocking along as everything was blowing up. And I thought it was awesome. Oh yes, I can understand it if you don't. Some people might feel it cheesy or something like that, but I loved it. I loved it. I felt Sulu and Chekhov did not get enough screen time. Sure, Sulu got to say his "Are you kidding?" and stuff. Chekhov, well, he got some lines, but he didn't really get to shine. I thought, especially considering what happened to him in real life. And I loved it when they showed the picture of the original crew. I've met James Doohan myself at a convention in 97 I met him. I'd say that it was a very good movie. And to finish it off, I've been a Treks and Sci-Fi viewer or listener since maybe episode 10. But I think this is the first time I've ever sent a message. Keep it up for another million episodes. Enrico Dosti, you rock.
Hey, Olaf. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Olaf. So glad to have a new voice, a new video from someone new here for Treks and Sci-Fi about Star Trek Beyond. So thanks very much for sending that in. I'm glad you guys, or everyone else, and you as well, liked the movie. I really expected all of us Star Trek fans to like this movie. I don't think if you're a Star Trek fan, this is a movie you're going to have a big problem with. I suppose there will be some people out there that will, but I really appreciate you taking some time out and sending me in that nice video. Looks beautiful wherever you were at. Very green and lush. Looks like you have some nice weather there, so thanks so much for that. I know you've been on the Treks and Sci-Fi Facebook group for a while now too, so again, thanks, and send in more of those too. I'd love to hear from you for future video casts. And this set and everything here, the idea of this is to do a lot more video casts for Treks and Sci-Fi, and also for probably this new little show that I want to create, this shorter video show only, or video cast always for it, that I want to start here in another... I'm shooting for kind of by Labor Day, I think, is my plan. So we'll see about that, I think. But anyway, thanks again for your comments. Glad you enjoyed the movie too. Alright, now you're going to see some comments, these video comments. I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon. The movie's only been out a couple of days, but now you're going to see a few videos I'm hoping to get by in the next day or so. Monday, Brian, and maybe a couple others will. Then I'm going to slide here at the end, and then I'm going to come back and I'll wrap up after this to finish off the vidcast.
So we're heading to see Star Trek Beyond. Really excited to be going along with the wife. And she really likes them too, so that's always makes it a lot more fun to be able to go with somebody. Don't know how long it is, but if it's an hour and a half or 3 hours, it's worth it. So we're getting ready to go. We'll be there in just a few minutes. We're going to the first showing of the day. So more to come later. Live long and prosper. Hello everybody, this is Will Hines coming to you from Ohio, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on the newest Star Trek movie, Star Trek Beyond. I have to say that I really enjoyed it, and director Justin Lin definitely made a Fast and Furious Star Trek movie. If he would do the next one, I would be totally fine with that. Definitely had a lot going on in that movie. 2 hours long, but it didn't seem like it. Even a couple, for me anyway, emotional moments. And you guys probably that have seen it probably will know which I'm talking about. But just a very well done movie. I saw a couple Easter eggs that I'll mention on the forum to see if anybody else happened to catch them. I won't mention them here in case somebody else wants to kind of look for them as they're watching the movie, either for the first time or again. And I liked how they paired off the characters in the movie. How you would see Kirk and Chekhov, and then Uhura and Sulu. How they got paired off was kind of a neat thing that they did with the movie. It's something that you maybe wouldn't see or have seen before, how they paired them off to do different things, or just the situations they were in. Was actually very well done. Really enjoyed the character of Jayla. I liked the look of her. I liked her species was neat. It was new. It was different. So I really enjoyed that character. Really enjoyed how she helped them, resolve what was going on in the movie. To help them, save, the Yorktown, for example. Which, by the way, was a very awesome special effect, very well done station. I mean, it was just really, really cool how that thing was done, and I would like to see that again in the next movie if they can, because I thought it was so well done. Probably on a sadder note was, of course, the spoiler alert, Ambassador Spock's death. I like how that was integrated into the movie. At the beginning, towards the end, I mean, it was in there, quite a bit actually. And at the end, when the JJ verse Spock was reminiscing or thinking about the old Spock and going through some of the things that he had from Ambassador Spock, the one thing that he opened up and that picture that he had, I thought was just really, really cool. And to be honest with you, it was even kind of sad to see that, because there was 3 great actors that I enjoyed for so long in that picture, that unfortunately are no longer with us. But very well done movie. I really liked it. Look forward to the next one. I hope it don't take 3 years, but I liked it. Look forward to hopefully maybe seeing it again in the theater. And everybody, make sure you live long and prosper.
Hey Rico, this is Mark Daniels from the Great Pacific Northwest, and I'm sending you my audio comments about Star Trek Beyond. First of all, I was a little worried about this movie. I mean, the first trailer, when it came out and they were playing the Beastie Boy music and Captain Kirk is jumping the shark, didn't get a good feeling about it, really. But it's a good movie. Scotty did a good job. Him and his partner, whoever, I can't remember Mr. X's name, who wrote the movie. But it's a good story. It's not a new story, but it's a good story. And they'll do a good job on it. And of course, if I wrote the story, I'd have some more time in it, because you see a lot of Scotty in this movie. But in this movie, Chris Pine, I almost say Chris Pike. Chris Pine is definitely Captain Kirk. He's believable. He's in the role now. Carl Urban did a great job as Dr. McCoy. Spock, Zachary Quinto did a great job, and the interaction they got in today's movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. But like I said, you see a whole lot of Scotty in it. The villain, good villain, not great villain. He's no Khan, but he does his role. Idris Elba. I wish they would have got more into his background, because I got a bunch of questions that I need answered, and the movie didn't go into it. But I like this movie. I really did. I went to go see it Thursday night and Saturday night, and I paid full price. So I paid full price twice. So it's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Okay, I got to finish my walk. Hey Rico, take care. Have a great day, everybody. This is M5 signing off.
All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate all those videos that you guys sent in about Star Trek Beyond. It's really a great movie. I only saw it once so far in a normal theater. I want to see it in 3D IMAX just to see what that's like. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I saw Into Darkness that way. Did I see the 2009? Was that in 3D IMAX as well? Maybe. I can't remember. Yeah, this movie has got everything I really think. I think a lot of people will like it that aren't really big Star Trek fans. It's a great summer movie, better than most of the summer movies I've seen so far. And I think the last one that I really enjoyed before this was Captain America. But yeah, they did a great job, and hats off to Justin Lin, the director, the whole cast, crew. The music was great again by Michael Giacchino. I gotta get that soundtrack. I just love the music for this series of films. They've done a great job with that, and I hope you guys enjoy the new look here and the new set. Hopefully this video will come out well. I gotta put it together now after I finish up recording, but again, thanks for watching Treks and Sci-Fi. You can always contact me at treksf@gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page, Facebook group, Treks and Sci-Fi. Just search for those. Also, patreon.com/Treks and Sci-Fi. Vimeo, vimeo.com/Trekkie for all the videos like this one. Just check it out. So I'm going to finish off the show and watch the rest of this. So go get some popcorn and go to the movies. If you haven't seen Star Trek Beyond, go soon, because this is a great movie. Bye, everyone. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Well, let's get some sound going here, huh? I had it down.
Pardon me.
He likes that scene.
Awesome! Bye.
You can, fly this thing, right?
You kidding me, sir?
Let's make some noise.
Jim, you look like crap. See you in the med bay for a checkup.
I'll see myself at the bar for a drink.
Star Trek Beyond, July 22nd.